It's Friday, December 5th.
The route to the final, like semi-finals, the quarter-finals. So all of those aspects really start from here up on this stage.
Before the games are played, the stage needs to be set. And that is happening today as fans and teams gear up for the FIFA World Cup Draw.
We'll either let it expire or we'll maybe work out another deal with Mexico and Canada.
Well, there could be trade talks on the sidelines of today's World Cup Draw as leaders of Canada, the U.S. and Mexico all come face to face in Washington.
It puts a lot of pressure on us, you know, do you break a rule? Do you bring a bid in? Do you bring a fella in because it's freezing out, you know?
Shelters across Atlantic Canada getting ready for extra demand, with temperatures expected to drop today.
The harder the shell, the better the lobster.
Bigger and better. Lobster crews in Nova Scotia reporting hefty and healthy catches just 2 weeks into the season. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Good morning, Canada. Welcome to Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
Good morning. I'm Lindsey Deluce.
And I'm Kelsey McEwen. Happy Friday.
It's nice to start with a happy story.
Yes.
Today, it's been a while, so let's start there. The draw for next year's FIFA World Cup is happening today.
It starts getting tasty, it starts getting tantalising, and you can start really feeling, where we're going to fit out.
The draw takes place at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington today. This will determine the early matchups for the tournament. So here's how it works. There are 48 teams. They will be divided into 12 groups of 4. For today's draw, each country will be split into 4 pots. Canada, as one of the hosts, is in pot number 1. We also know Canada will be in Group B. So who else will be in that group? Simulators have been trying to predict the outcomes.
They've already got Switzerland.
Hey!
Okay, so Canada is ranked 27th in the world, still looking for, obviously, our first World Cup win. FIFA is bringing out the stars for the draw. So big names like Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal, Wayne Gretzky, Aaron Judge, are just some of the A-listers helping out today. And the World Cup draw could also potentially help smooth over recent trade tensions. U.S. President Donald Trump, Prime Minister Mark Carney, and Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum will all be there.
3 North American leaders who've never been in a room together are going to have a visual of a happy moment, drawing some country names for the World Cup. Those of us who are looking for some hope right now, that just maybe, at the end of the day, the right thing will happen.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will meet with President Donald Trump at the Kennedy Center today. Mark Carney will also meet separately with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. Sheinbaum is expected to then meet privately with Trump. So the event will be the first face-to-face meeting between the leaders ahead of next year's mandatory review of the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement on trade. The renegotiation period has been set to take place 6 years after the deal was struck, which, as we know, was in 2020. Hearings have been taking place in Washington on the upcoming review, with reports that Donald Trump could be considering leaving CUSMA altogether. The energy minister didn't participate in the AFN Special Chiefs Assembly as a deal for a potential pipeline took center stage.
The decision was made that some other ministers would come.
All ministers are always welcome. None are ever uninvited.
Energy Minister Tim Hodgson did meet with BC chiefs in a separate caucus room. He listened to their concerns over a pipeline to the West Coast and afterwards said any major projects like a pipeline could only be built with Indigenous consultation. He has committed to going to BC's Northwest Coast to meet with communities and chiefs in the near future. The Conservative Party of BC is entering the holidays with a new interim leader after a pretty turbulent couple of days.
I talked to many of my supporters. I talked to the core people that have been around me, talked to my wife. They all encouraged me to carry on with this fight. But in order to do that would be the creation of a civil war within the Conservative Party of British Columbia.
The now former leader, John Rustad, took the party from a single seat to the cusp of winning last year's election. Things took a turn, though, on Wednesday after 20 caucus members signed letters calling for Rustad to be removed from his position. The new interim leader is Trevor Halford. He says his leadership will be temporary, that he wants to see a robust leadership race. Restad will stay on as an MLA, but says he won't run for re-election. Atlantic Canada will have to deal with a cold front and strong winds today.
Started the emergency assistance program a little bit earlier this year, and what we were finding is that more people are coming to us.
Halifax will have 4 shelters open tonight. PEI is planning to offer temporary shelter space for people in need of somewhere to go. The ferry between Nova Scotia and PEI, that's canceled today. Schools are closed in Cape Breton. Some other boards are starting later than usual, so check with your board. And Nova Scotia Power has opened its Emergency Operations Centre. The utility is warning strong winds today could bring down power lines in northeastern Nova Scotia and across Cape Breton as well.
We are addressing the heat shelters that we need to have in the winter coming, and we're still missing places.
With temperatures expected to drop this week, Montreal is putting its winter plan in place. The city is aiming to have 500 warming spots available by Christmas. The downtown YMCA will have 135 spaces available for the next 5 days. Transit employees are also being told to be more tolerant toward people keeping warm at metro stations. Lobster crews in Nova Scotia are boasting some pretty impressive catches just 2 weeks into the season.
I've been seeing 6 pounds, 7 pounds, 8 pounds so far already early in the season. Normally I don't see the big guys till later in the season.
The size, the quality, the quantity, all looking pretty good this season. This boat returned to the wharf in Eastern Passage with about 1,400 pounds of lobster. From here, they will be grouped by weight and quality. But there could be a short pause in the lobster haul with bitter cold and high winds rolling into the areas we were just talking about. Some captains actually plan to keep their boats tied up until the weather clears. EQ Bank has a deal to buy PC Financial. So what does that mean for your optimum points? Obviously, that's the question. EQB is buying PC Financial from Loblaw for $800 million. As part of the deal, it will become the exclusive financial partner of the loyalty program. PC Financial members are being told nothing will change for now. You can still collect and redeem your points as usual. The app is also not changing. Customers will be told how the brands plan to integrate after the sale is approved. PC Optimum has more than 17 million members. Netflix appears to be closing in on a deal to buy the film and streaming business of Warner Brothers Discovery. Netflix has emerged as the top bidder, ahead of Comcast and Paramount Skydance. This process started back in October, with Warner Brothers hoping to have a deal in place later this month. If the deal is finalized, Netflix would acquire the Warner Brothers Studios and HBO Max streaming assets. Paramount had made an initial bid to buy the whole company, which was rejected before Warner Brothers put itself up for sale. Google has released its search trends for 2025, revealing what we all wanted to know more about. Want to know? I bet you do. In Canada, no surprise, the Blue Jays topped the list of what people search for in the news and events category. Jays pitcher Trey Savage was the top search in the athletes category. It is Trey Day. Prime Minister Mark Carney was the most searched person last year. In the pop culture category, Labubu took the top spot.
Nailed it.
Thank you. This one also did not come as a surprise. The number one thing Canadians asked what about was, what does 6-7 mean?
That's really funny.
Yeah.
It means nothing.